Hello, all of you. I've already. This is post editing, post everything. In fact, I'm just adding this in at the last second. But part of the reason why I was judging the game the way I was because I was considering the price of it too. Because this game is not free. In fact, it is $10 on Steam, and I kept that in the back of my mind the entire video. So that is an important thing to consider also. This game is $10, and I feel any game that has a price point needs to demonstrate that it's worth that price point. But yeah, I'll let you get on to the video. It's a good one. I like it. Um, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the other side. Hello, everybody. The OGs will remember this setup. I haven't used a Basecamp in forever. This dates back to my streaming days actually. This camera, it sucks. But I don't have anything else and I don't want to buy a new one, so it'll get the job done, you know. What you gonna do? Other than that though, I was not originally planning to make this video. In fact, I was about to go out to do something, but you know what? At the last second, I saw that somebody else had played this, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This would be a good learning opportunity for all of us to discuss how to make a horror game. And the main reason I didn't want to play it at the time was it seemed very based on jump scares, especially from like the couple of reviews I read. It was very based on jump scares. The Steam reviews were mixed, and I don't like games like that. I feel like we've mostly moved past games like that, you know, but I don't know how exactly it implements them, but it seemed other people were having a problem with the gameplay too, so you know what? Fuck it. And then another reason, this whole jump scare thing to get the person to scream, you know, because that's the goal. It seems very catered towards streamers and content creators, you know? And I've seen games that have been more geared to them, and I've never liked them. It always felt exploitative. And, you know, it's not like I'm making a difference by not recording the video in order to, like, go against this whole practice, but you know what? I have like less than 1,000 subscribers. Nobody's gonna be paying attention to me all that much. But it was based more on principle, you know. I just didn't want to bother with it. I was gonna let this one fly by, but I don't know. I just changed my mind at the last second because I realized I can show everybody why this gameplay style is not very effective in the long run. Why it's very cheap. I'm saying all this stuff assuming I know what the game. Maybe it'll be completely different. You know, I am going in with some assumptions, and those assumptions are the ones that cause me to almost not play the game. But you know, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It's just a bit worrying. Let me go ahead and launch it real quick. You'll see what I mean in a second. Hey, yep, there's my eyes. Right.
Before playing Don't Scream,
Whoa, what the
please
fuck?
play the game the way we intended. This means setting up your microphone correctly. Here's how to do that. You should be able to speak only quietly, not loudly, with slight gasps or sudden sounds counting as screams. If you
Ooh.
speak too loudly and your voice exceeds the threshold of the microphone divider line, a red flash will appear on the screen, signaling a scream. It's up to you to find a comfortable balance between speaking softly and what should be considered a scream when you calibrate your microphone. For optimal results, you should determine the best distance to position the microphone from your mouth. Please be aware that external audio software can impact your game's microphone calibration. Adjust settings in both your game and audio software for optimal calibration. Thanks for listening, play fair, and most of all, don't scream.
Okay, that's kind of charming. Oh, it's way too loud. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're we're all in the red here. All right, here we go. Oh, uh, mm, how's this? How's it? It's still too loud? That's too loud. Okay, let me try speaking like a normal person. It's really hard. It's really hard to Can I move this? No. Yeah. 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 Okay. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, the quick brown fox. Oh my God. Um, maybe I should just talk like this. You know, if I talk like this, nothing will happen. All right. I'm just gonna have to pretend I'm dead inside for a while. All right, guys. I don't think it can go any lower. Oh, it can. It can go lower. It can technically go low. It can technically. Oh my God. That's not. All right, this is good. Sure. And the deal is with a lot of these gimmicky sort of games, they um they rely on like one trick a lot. They're very oft. Guess I will be adjusting my microphone settings to a setting this game will appreciate, I guess. All right, let's see. Oh, okay, let's see. That's half decent actually. Looks like lowering. Oh, it looks like lowering. Looks like looks like lowering it a bit did help. I'm so glad. Are you fucking kidding me? What are you picking up that is so fucking loud? What are you picking the fuck up? Oh, we're literally at fucking 1%. 1%. One. Can't go lower. Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna try talking like in a very calm candor this entire time because this game does not want me to express myself at all. That's very annoying, but I will put up with it. Let us play. 18 minutes. Here we go. Are you guys ready? I am ready. Let us play. I am very immersed. I am so incredibly immersed. Whoa, it is a dead body. Wow, I am so happy about this occurrence. Oh, what do we have here? It is a blue chair. I wonder where I have seen those before. Ah. Can I run? I can crouch. Why would I need to crouch though? Maybe to get in that pipe? Thank you. This is truly the pinnacle of game design. More blue chairs. Oh. That looks like... nothing. Never mind. The crouch mechanic is still useless. Like in a lot of games. You know, I find it funny how many games have a crouch mechanic that they never use. Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm. You don't think I don't hear those extra footsteps? I certainly do. Maybe I was being a bit too prejudiced on the game. We will see. I'm going in here very cynically, which is quite different from my usual method. Wow, that is a drink machine. Thank you. October 31st. Ooh, it's Halloween. At 1993, the spookiest year ever. Looks like an airplane crashed here. That's fun. I wonder what that is. Wow. What a spooky scream. What a incredibly spooky scream. You know, I am especially glad for this game in particular. Do I have a flashlight? I do not have a flashlight. That I started recording my audio channels separately. Oh, interesting approach. Go up here. Somebody in the toilet? I will not bother you. Interesting. That's cool. I appreciate that. Let us explore the forest. You know, so far this game is doing a somewhat okay job of really building in a feeling of tension, which I am slightly surprised at. Or maybe I've just been getting very lucky. There's really no way to tell since it is open world. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Yes? This would be better if I could see something. Oh, let's go over there. That place looks interesting. Oh, it's the spookiest... No, I didn't. I didn't scream. Guess I will lower my microphone even more. Because that just wasn't enough. Okay, let's talk now. Talking pretty good. I can... Let's do all of that again. Nope, never mind. Never mind. I spoke with too much confidence. Just too much, you know? Thank you. My confidence is overwhelming the game. I know, it does that to people. I will try not to do it to you. Alright, back to speaking very softly. I have to say, they have a very, very interesting limit on what's a scream. And also, I think they've put a bit too much filters. A bit too many 1%, guys. Nope, this is as quiet as it gets. Okay, that's fine. I will just speak very carefully. Like I was before. This can almost double as ASMR. I should put that in the title. That'd be funny. You see, I don't think this is just my mic, because I don't think my mic is all that sensitive or anything. I have it a pretty good distance away from my mouth, but apparently the game disagrees. And it also says I should not. In fact, if I shake the desk, in the past, if I were to shake the desk in the wrong way, I'd probably die. Oh, what are you? Oh, you're just very interesting mannequin. Cool. Ah, just like the cool kids. Come on, Weeping Angel. I see that from a mile away. Don't think you're clever. Oh, that's your final form? Didn't think so. Ooh. You don't mind me checking out your RV, do you? Looks like an RV. Oh, a person. Face blurred out. Do you open? Oh. This is some very funny textures. And also not what an RV would look like. At all. You're pretty cool. I like you. Can we be friends? Maybe in another universe. Oh, I spoke a little bit too loudly that time. Why did you flash me that? My mic is working perfectly fine. Oh, did it think I turned it off? Does it actually detect that? That'd be funny. Real funny. Alright, give me the flashlight. Oh. We're dealing with Siren Head now. I'm truly in for a scare. More of the scariest liquid the human body produces. Well, second scariest. Oh, I love being in the flesh pit. Oh. Oh, the flesh pit. Wait, I can... Spooky. Oh, look at that. Who must you be? Hello? I would like to be friends. Very soft talking friends. Yeah. Let me in the house, please. Ooh. This is blasphemy. This goes against flag code, I hope you know that. If your flag has a tear in it, you repair it immediately. That's how flags work. Yeah, I hear the extra footsteps. from Invisible Man. Shovel. Alright, goodbye. That was nice. Again, it's spooky. Again, it's very much taking its time, which I do appreciate. But so far, I haven't been really all that scared. Because this game somewhat allows me to put me in a mindset where I wouldn't be scared, you know? I am currently... Oh, hello there. Saw that. Nice. And while it may give me a start, I'm not actually getting all that much fear or replay value. I mean, I guess there is a bit of replay value, but that all is based on what scares you find again. And if you find entirely different scares, you'll have a great experience. But if you find the same scares, you won't. Man. With something like the Mortuary Assistant, I have something primarily to focus on, and that really allows me to, you know, explore the game for what it is. It allows me to get distracted by something, and it allows me to get caught off guard when a scare does happen, and it makes me thoroughly fear the scares that are happening. With something like this, the only goal is to look at the scares, to watch out for scares. And if the Mortuary Assistant was just that, it would not be nearly as popular. I think it also is the Mortuary Assistant has a better environment, you know? A very closed environment that you can know very well. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I just find it more atmospheric than a dark, spooky forest under a video camera. And yes, I am being very cynical, but there is a purpose for that, and it's to try and give advice. I want to give advice, and the advice I will give is this game doesn't exactly take advantage of Unreal 5's graphics all that much. It's very basic. It's part of the PS2 aesthetic I've seen 200 times. It's also using very trite jump scares that aren't all that special, you know? And it thinks it's built this atmosphere by just putting me in a dark, spooky forest with noises, but it thinks it's built all this atmosphere through the spooky environment, but the spooky environment isn't what I'd call too spooky, because I mean, it is immersive to a degree, but I'm just not really engaging with it, you know? It's not... It feels done for the sake of scares, and when something is done for the sake of scares and doesn't really have any personality or really charm of its own, I'm not that engaged. There is a right way to do scares, and I don't think requiring the player to kind of push themselves away from the game is the right way to do it. You want the player to engage with the game as much as possible, you know, and this whole gameplay style is kind of encouraging them to not engage with it, which is probably the biggest Achilles heel. And again, jump scares do not get me as much as they used to. They get me Okay. Alright, fine. I will lower. I will lower. I will lower. I will lower. I will lower the mic even more. Are you happy? Gonna lower it even more. We are now at -6 decibels. Let's see if this does it. I also think that they should really consider adding more mic customization options, like an inbuilt compressor, because not everybody knows how to set up a compressor, and a compressor is obviously very needed for this game, because if you don't have it, you're just fucked in the ass repeatedly by this game's extraordinarily sensitive mic options. But I'm not gonna let that. Maybe that is just my mic and my personal experience, so I won't hold it against it all that much. What I will somewhat. My compressor has been buffed significantly. It should be working. See? See, look at that. See, look at that. It's working. It's working very well now. Okay. Wait, can I... Oh, no, not too loud. Alright. I can somewhat talk in a normal voice now. I think I finally ID'd the problem, and that was the problem, even though I shouldn't fucking need a compressor to play this game. It should come in with an inbuilt compressor. I guess I will play along. That is perfectly fine. And I think it's a very interesting problem because a lot of people don't critique games like they used to. And I don't. Well, I kind of say that, but at the same time, it has been a constant trend of people not really, especially content creators, not really critiquing games, and that's because everybody has their own experiences, everybody has all that, but some games do genuinely need it, and there's just been this, like, I don't know, that being nice is mutually exclusive from critiquing the game. And let me say some positives. This game does have a lot of restraint. It is trying and somewhat succeeding at building an atmosphere. And again, I do appreciate that. I do recognize that. Little cat. Be quiet. It's just that, it's not... I've said it before. Oh, spooky. And I have been thinking about it this entire time. The reason why I'm not scared. I've been thinking about it a lot. And what I can come up with is that well, you need... Yeah, I'm just gonna stay as quiet as possible for this run. Maybe that's the way they intend it to be played. You need to get that out, buddy? Can I drive? No? Okay, that's fine. If I had to guess, this game is going to give me a fake out jump scare at 0 seconds. That's my guess. It's taking its time to get to the actual scares, and I am appreciating that. Although, it's already shown me ghosts. So, it's very interesting progression. We go from ghosts to animals to scary ghosts. Over halfway. We've been over halfway for a while. More ghost birds. Wait, I can talk 4 minutes to scare me. 4 minutes. Hello?
Consommation de sang.
Can I scream? Can't scream. All right. No, no. Think I'm good for now. All right. All right. All right. All right. Now that I have fully Oh, okay. Mind your voice. I just saw that. Minor gasps and screams. So talking this is me talking normally. This is how I talk normally. I talk like this. What you're forcing me to do was strip everything in my voice away until I become a soft ASMR speaker. Anyway, that's besides the point. All right. I think during the course of that 18 minutes, A, my prediction came true. B,
Before playing, don't scream.
no. What? Why is it on default low quality? What the Wait a minute. Oh. That's why. Ooh. This looks a lot better. A lot, well, kinda better. But, yep, I see why. It is not running at 60 frames, let me tell you that. Anyway, why am I speaking loudly? Anyway, I think during the course of that, I finally, like, figured out, like, all my problems with this game, why it doesn't work for me, and finally got a clear, concise picture in my head. And simply put, this game, essentially, all my complaints with this game can be summed up in a few easy points. First of all, it requires you to disengage yourself from the game, and that is never a good idea. Essentially, what that does is you're asking the player to not be scared, and if they're really immersed in it, that's fine. If you give them a task to do, because that's another thing. The only goal is to survive 18 minutes. There's nothing else. So you don't need to pay attention nearly as much. And like, I was paying attention to what was happening, but I wasn't in it. I wasn't caring about it because there's nothing for me to care about. All I had to do was exist in this world that was just these essentially in like one of those, what are they called? You know, those scare houses, you know, haunted houses that people go into, and there's a bunch of scary. It's designed to be scary. It's like a machine. And all I have to do is exist in this machine for 18 minutes. And that's it. So there's not really a lot for me to get engaged in. There's no characters I care about. There's no real story, which is fine. I've seen games work without a story, though it really helps you get immersed. There wasn't really... It all just felt very cobbled together. These scares all felt like they were from completely separate ideas, and they just all come together. There wasn't anything coming after me. I knew that because all I had to do was survive 18 minutes, and that's it. And so, like, there is no danger. There is no goal. There is no real... Well, there is a goal, but there isn't any real goal that keeps me engaged. And so, what... Let me reset my mic settings real quick. And... because my compressor is... Yeah, let me, Alright, I put it back to levels I was comfortable with. Alright, anyway. Back to my point. And also, the environment, just the game itself, I've seen a lot of it before. It's very trite, and trite can work if you do it well, if you apply it well, if you apply it uniquely, but this was not applied uniquely. This was applied just as some show. It's like just a model, like a... If you asked an AI to make a scary game, this wouldn't be too far off, in my opinion. And that's not... That does seem like it's a hit to the creators, and it kind of is. This is a critique. It's just that, like, I understand the direction they were going for, and they did do a few things right. They didn't screw up, like, every single... No. See, there was genuine restraint, and I love that. Genuine restraint is really good. It would have worked very well if other aspects of the game were improved. There was a feeling of tension. That first couple playthroughs, I felt a feeling of tension, but once I understood how pretty much all of the jump scares worked, I kind of just zoned out. I really did. Like, I tried to give the benefit of the doubt, keep engaged in the game, don't like look at anything else, don't like distract myself because that takes away from the game. And even in that final thing, because sometimes I distract myself, I talk. Sometimes I talk to distract myself, you know. So I just stopped that. I just made a bunch of facial expressions and shit. And the occasional word because I was really fucking scared I'd trigger it again. But I didn't scream a single time. I didn't gasp a single time. My heartbeat actually did go up with that final scare, even though I predicted it. It went up with that final scare. And that is because there was a feeling of like, oh, what are they going to hit me with? But I kind of knew what they were going to hit me with. But it raised my heartbeat. It raised my heartbeat. Didn't make me do anything, but it did raise my heartbeat. And maybe I'm not just in tune with this game. Maybe I'm kind of like not the crowd, because I do play a lot of horror games, and this feels like a horror game for somebody who's never played horror games before, you know? And in fact, that description actually works pretty well. I could imagine somebody who had never played a horror game before being into this, you know? I could imagine that. I really could. This game kind of has a few fundamental problems, and it also has a problem when it scares. It doesn't really have a personality. It's really unfortunate because I do love horror games. Like I said, I was trying to say in there, I do love horror games. I play a lot of horror games, and again, that might not make me a good target, you know? That might ruin the experience for a bit, since I know how a lot of scares work. And you have to do more. You have to get me invested. You have to actually like get me immersed to really get them on me. But I feel like that's a fault on the developers too, because you can make a good horror experience for people who've never played horror games and still have it apply to everyone else. There are tons of games that do that. Tons of very scary games that do that. That do pull off atmosphere very well because they understand like what a horror game's essentials need to be. You need to have a goal other than just surviving. That's hell, the earliest horror games had a goal. Earliest. I'm talking like early modern horror games. Stuff like Slender the Eight Pages. These types of games always had like a goal to keep you fixed on, a goal to progression around, a goal to keep you like in a goal and a threat. The only threat in this game is your own voice, is your own screaming. And if you can identify that threat, it's yourself. You can easily cancel it to where there is no threat, to where there isn't a problem. And when there is no threat, the game doesn't work. It just doesn't. A lot of games are walking simulators. A lot of games genuinely are. There are walking simulators games, and they are very hard to get right. Much harder than traditional horror games, but they can work a lot better because they don't have that frustration factor. Take, for example, you know, any game where you're just like doing any game that's like on itch.io or something. It's a walking simulator, and there usually isn't a main threat. Well, 50-50 shot. And with those games, the goals keep you focused. They have to do a lot more to immerse you, but if it does it well, it does it well. Personally, I think I prefer games with threats. I feel like they're a lot easier for people to get into. They're also a lot easier for people to get out of. But it just requires a bit more finesse with difficulty and how you operate that. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on this game. Why it doesn't work. Why it could really use... I don't know. It could really benefit from just a bit more thought and care. Just like, don't make it every single horror game put into one. Make it a horror game where you do have goals, but you also can't scream. But don't make the scream instant death. That, if I were to redesign it, I would probably put up a scenario where let's say I don't know, you're exploring like some abandoned place that somebody went missing in. Generic plot. It doesn't need to be the most complex. You just need to have characters that exist and characters that have motivations. You get that together, you can get a lot more immersed. Then, what I would do is I would probably just, again, like, don't make screaming instant death, but like punish it. Like the monster can detect you. Like this threat can detect you if you scream. And then have like these different scares based on everything, like all around like the house you're exploring or the place you're exploring or the environment. It can be more than just a house. It can be an entire environment, and that's the difficulty. That's the difficulty. It's you literally have to like navigate this environment and do these certain tasks and avoid this threat. And part of the threat is yourself, but it's not the entire threat, so you can't just zone out. You do have to pay attention. And I think that would probably be a much better horror experience for me because it checks off all the boxes. It has a threat I care about. It has tactics to get me immersed. It actually utilizes screaming well and doesn't punish like bad mics instantly. Like just one minor slip up in like talking slightly too loud won't get you like instantly killed. It will get you noticed though, which can get you into a situation. But that's how I would do it. Take everything in here with a grain of salt because again, I've never quite developed a horror game, especially not this caliber. So I wouldn't know a lot. Well, I take that back. I do know a lot about game design. I do. I play a lot of it. I notice it, and I can pick up on it. I think this game does have potential. I really do. Um, I think its problems are pretty fundamental, but if the creators were willing to give like a second try to another game, I feel like they could do a pretty damn good job. Right now, I do not find this game scary. It's very cheap, and it doesn't work. It's cheap and gimmicky. That's the long and the short of it, and that is harsh, but it's true. And I think this there is a lot to critique here, and that's kind of a good thing because that means the problems are very obvious. There isn't any like core issue that I can't recognize that makes the game really boring. No, it's pretty obvious, and if those problems were fixed, this would be a much better experience. The gimmick would work very well. That's my thoughts on it. I'm sorry, I kind of feel bad I had to critique this as much as I did, but at the same time, I don't. I know these people put quite a bit of effort in, just doesn't work with me. I do appreciate that though. Making horror games is not easy. It's not a simple procedure, but they do need to be critiqued in order to improve the game space as a whole. I think without critique, games will never improve, and therefore there's no reason to make new ones. So, yeah. If don't and a message to everybody out there, don't be afraid to critique a game. You know, if you find something frustrating or difficult or anything really, it's not you don't have to feel bad about calling it out. I think I'll about sum it up. You know, I had a few more things to say, but they're not important. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for really I wasn't ever scared in this game, but I hope I did give a few pointers for anybody out there looking to make a game. You know, I'm thinking of inject. I kind of appreciate games like this, which allow me to talk. Ironically, I couldn't talk during like the actual gameplay portion, but this game did give me a lot to say about, and I'm pretty appreciative of that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video. Uh, I love you all, and bye-bye. Wait. Now I'm cool.